I got this friend who is a fellow artist, but never follows through. I have a million things I've never followed through on, a million, but I do follow through a lot more than the average person. My friend doesn't, and he's always talking about painting these like masterpieces, but then he'll start one and then he'll realize that like he doesn't have it in him and he can't he's one of those unfortunate souls whose ability and taste have not risen to hit each other yet, and that's a tough place to be. And I was there for most of my life, but I kept it on, and eventually I was able to match it. And even when you hit the point where you can match it, you don't match it every time. But the difference is you're capable of it, and so you kind of like you don't fret when you're not hitting your mark because you know you've hit it before. Like if you've never had an arrow hit a bullseye, you're not sure you'll ever be able to hit a bullseye. But once you've hit a bullseye, you're like, all right, I can repeat that. Once you get your first toe moving, you get the rest of those little piggies moving. But you gotta get that first toe moving. I don't know what to tell my friend. And like I thought maybe sharing my accomplishments would help him. Doesn't. It just makes him like angry, I think. Because it just is a reflection of the fact that he hasn't hit his mark yet. I think a lot of people live their lives like that and they never give themselves the time and space and patience and practice to hit their marks. They just live in a sort of a delusion world that like, oh, if I tried, I could. And there's this quote by Julian Schnabel about that where like people like to blame work on not being able to do their art. I think other people blame like, oh, I mean, it mostly comes down to a time thing. And then once those people do have some time on their hands, they find out that they don't have it because they should have been spending all that time working on it. Dude, I don't know. I'm very lucky that I've had the something tenacity, probably a bunch of stuff. I'm lucky that for whatever reason, my personality forced me to get to where I want to go. Very lucky. And I see where I want to go in the future, and I have my path mapped out in front of me enough to get me where I need to go. And it'll probably change, and I'll probably hit a bunch of roadblocks, but for the most part, I see the territory. I'm not just staring at the map. A lot of people just stare at that map.